Hi guys, it's Andy from Man City Fan TV. How is everyone today? Hope you're well. Today's topics, I guess topic more so, is going to be obviously what has been dominated yesterday and today's press, media, you name it, is obviously VAR. And I'm sure you've all got opinions and you've all got your own thoughts and ideas of what it is and what happened. And I asked fans outside the stadium yesterday, and yeah, it's just one of those. But anyway, Brandon Wallace, hi everyone, just about got over yesterday. Steve Black says, hi Andy, and Blues all over the hills and VAR away. Horsey City forever. Afternoon, fellas. Still not calmed down. I'm sure you haven't, Martin. Razor game of 1, 2, 3. What happened with Aguero and Pep yesterday? Well, we can talk about that because it's. I think it was a little bit misinterpreted, and I certainly know how that feels after yesterday in the Colin Bell stand. So yeah, I think there was a bit of misinterpretation with regards to it. So I think. I don't know whether Aguero thought that Pep was having a pop at him for the goal, but he wasn't. He was talking about something else. Hi, Andy guys. Happy VAR day, says Bernard. J-Hope, handball rule needs to change. It's awful, which I think you've hit the nail on the head, J-Hope. It's about the rules, not necessarily VAR. Hello, everyone, says Dank City. John Walters, yo, Horsey forever. How bad was Oliver? Thought he was absolutely appalling, if I'm being honest. Beyond belief, there was bad mood from the fans leaving the ground. Might as well save 60 quid and watch on TV. At least I'll know what excuses these clowns are making up to shaft us with, says BB. Welcome back on Beyond Belief. Cobby says, when we wanted something to keep soccer fair, we weren't looking for something to micromanage every little thing. Should only be used for clear and obvious errors or events. Well, I mean, we you know, it is what it is, and this is the whole thing. Everyone's got an opinion. Alexander Savage says, hi Andy, I was listening to the Who's Who Next album before the live stream. Oh, were you? The Who, what a band. Steve Black, Bernard. Scott Williams, afternoon all. Nice work on camera yesterday, Bernard. Yeah, he was very good. Craig Forrest, hey Andy, what was your impression of Ilkay? We'll talk about that. Iana, clear pen on Rodri. It clearly was. Steve Black hit the ball on the hand, more like. Selective VAR is ruining football, says Dank City. Steve Oatway. Hi Andy, everyone. How did Oliver and VAR miss that penalty? I have no idea. Bernard Deneen, what was that foul against given against Bernardo when he beat 4 men and got bundled over? Exactly. Owens on, it was the right decision according to the rules. The rules need to change. I agree with you. Beyond belief, Graham Scott was the VAR man that didn't overrule Oliver on the Rodri penalty. I don't know whether he did overrule him. I don't think he could, because I don't think Oliver gave the penalty. But yeah, you're right. He should have overruled it. Horsey City forever. What got me were we were meant to be told exactly what was being reviewed, but we only knew when Spurs fans celebrated and came up saying no goal, nothing about a review. Jorge Green says, how poor was Edison yesterday? Well, I wouldn't say he was poor, but I thought he could have done better for the goal. Gary Soames, as a Spurs fan, we were very lucky. City played us off the park. You guys look amazing. VAR, wow, not good. It is what it is, though, and that's the thing, Gary Soames. It's one of those, you know, and that's why we're going to discuss it today, because there still seems to be some inconsistencies with regards to what should be looked at, what shouldn't, and whether it's the letter of the law or it isn't. And that's the problem, that even as fans, we're sort of going, well, hold on a minute, I know this is this rule, but you only have to then take in isolation the fact of the Rodri foul, which was an absolute clear penalty, no doubt about it. And you just think, well, how is that not overruled? Do they not want to embarrass the referees? I mean, it shouldn't matter. It should not matter. Thought the whole idea was to get the correct decisions, and clearly yesterday we had inconsistencies. Again, we had the letter of the law being applied, but what we also had was it wasn't actually taking out clear and obvious errors. So it's a tough one. It is, but it is what it is, and they're not. The thing is, they're not going to actually remove it. So we're going to have to live with it. But as fans, I felt yesterday being at the ground, I just thought it's ruining my experience of the football. It really is. Cheers, Scott. Spot on, insightful stuff from me as always. Steve Black, Gundogan, Andy's favourite player of the month. I don't mind Gundogan whatsoever. None whatsoever. I think he's a very technically gifted, brilliant player going forward. Don't get me wrong. But in a defensive role, just doesn't do it. We saw it for the second goal again. Like running in treacle. When Lamella's just ahead of him easily. And he's like jogging back because he's got no pace whatsoever. Craig Forrest, it's also hit the defender's arm. Why no pen? I'm not sure whether it did or it didn't. I'll be honest, Craig. I'm not sure whether it actually hit the player's arm, but the player's arm is all over Laporte's arm, holding it. So, should it have been a straight penalty? Should it have been a straight penalty just for the grabbing? I don't know. John Walters, people will lose interest in football until this VR garbage is removed forever. People are already starting to look at it. You only have to listen to some of the pundits and things going, it's ruining it for me. And I think most of the fans, certainly after last week and now yesterday, are sort of going, the enjoyment level, the spontaneity and everything else is going from the game because it's, you cheer, then you don't cheer, and then you do this, and then you don't do that, and then you're waiting for this screen which is non-existent and nobody knows what's happening, and it's like American football. I hate American football. Can't stand it because it's just stop, start, stop, start, stop, start, stop, start. And I know people love American football. I just can't watch it. I just cannot watch it because of all the stop starts. And now we've got all this rules coming in, and the game has gone on for over 45 years or so. Why do we need all this? And I was watching the Sunday supplement this morning, and Ian Ladyman was it Ian Ladyman? Was on, yeah, with Sam Wallace and John Cross from The Mirror. And they were talking about it, and I think all of them agreed that, certainly John Cross wanted VAR, but Ian Ladyman said, I never wanted it for this reason, solely because of this reason. It's just, it takes away that, you can argue in the pub afterwards, oh, well, it looked offside and it did this. And I can understand why they've brought it in. But I just think it's gone too far. I think it needs to be brought in for certain things, but then just scrap the rest and go back to how it was before. But it ain't going anywhere. And I listened to one of them talking about the VAR, head of VAR for, what's it called? What's the old referee called now? I can't remember his name now. But he has so far written the rule, changed the rule in 14 times. He's had to rewrite it because puts a rule in for VAR. And then somebody goes, yeah, but hold on, but that's fine for this. But if you go to this particular rule, then that contradicts it. Oh, right, okay. You're going to have to change it again. Why? If you're having to change every single thing about it, does that not tell you straight away something ain't right here? But anyway, Ray Fernley says, spontaneous celebrations finished, rest in peace, football. It's what the Hackett. Thank you, Steve Black. Yeah, it was Keith Hackett. Beyond belief, the rule is a farce anyway, but the selective application of clear and obvious is open to corruption. Of course it is. That's the problem. Daryl Morton, not keen on VAR, but it will benefit us one day. Hopefully. And I'm sure it will, Daryl. It's a good point. I'm sure it absolutely will. But it still doesn't mean that the actual game and experience is going to be better because one day it does favour us. And let's face it, it did last week. I thought straight away Sterling was offside, but actually VAR shown he was onside. But again, reading articles on VAR this morning, they're saying that there is a variant in there that states that it could be anywhere up to 13.38 centimetres because of the frame rate that they use for it. So there could be a variant of 13.38 centimetres. So all you're doing is you're just having to take the word of where they stop it and how the 50 frames per second is. But there still could be this variant. So if there's still a variant, that means there's still ambiguity. There is still potential for it to be wrong, which it shouldn't be if they're going to be that picky with these things. So Steve Black says, to be honest, I'm more concerned we're not scoring a good amount of chances. Well, let's face it, Steve, we scored 5 last week. It was just yesterday. We missed a number of very good chances. Alexander Savage, wonder if Pep would put Angelino in place of Zinchenko if he got injured. Don't know. We're never going to get rid of VAR now. We're not. I don't think we are. Blue Heart, hi Andy, hi guys. Good to see you after the match, Andy. VAR is going to devalue the game. Winning the league with VAR call likes yesterday's not good. Yeah, it was great to see you yesterday, Blue Heart. Great to have a catch up and a chat after the game. So yeah, thanks for stopping and waiting for some of the fan cams to stop before we got a chance to have a chat. Corny, hey Andy, how are you? Steve Black, no, as all subs used. Ayana Moran, any news on Stone's injury? No, nothing. I've not read anything today. Maybe some of the people have been busy with work. So let's go back. Sorry, big jump, loads and loads of comments on here. Loads of people online at the moment wanting to talk about this. So thanks for coming on, guys. When you're at the game, you have no idea what's going on. Well, you don't. Well, you can understand if it's something that goes through and it's an offside. You might go, yeah, it looks like he's offside. That's why it's called that. But you get the sort of red card thing, and it's like, red card. What for what they're looking at there? And then you get like yesterday where you've just basically got Michael Oliver doing this, and then everyone's like, what? What's that all about? So, yeah, I mean, it'd be a simple, they can put up there text. They can put up text on there. So why can't I just put text up going, we're looking at number 33 or number 9 or potential handball with this, or just put the text up and everyone goes, right, okay, God, I didn't see that. But no, there's nothing. There's absolutely nothing for the fan. Now, at home, if you're watching on home, I'm assuming yesterday Sky were all over it, and you see everything replayed, rewound, sort of slowed down. The match, these are the, we're paying to go and watch this, and there's nothing. There's absolutely nothing. And it's nonsense. It is absolute nonsense. Now, we can go round and round talking about, the merits of it and blah, blah, blah. But as a fan going to the game, it's, for me, that's 2 games in, and it's already, I'm like that with it, I'll be honest with you. So, George Holgate Green says, Spurs didn't deserve a win at Villa and were diabolical against us. I can only see a 2-way title race game, maybe, beyond belief. If Laporte was called Llorente, we would have been sorted. Don't even need VAR, said John Walters. I'm with you to a certain degree. Some people are saying they won't go anymore. Yeah, I saw that on Twitter earlier. I'm not sure whether it'll stop me going, but if it continues the way it's going, it's certainly going to dampen my enthusiasm for the matches, I'll be honest with you. Because I walked out. I never walk out early. Ever, ever, ever do I walk out early. But I walked out a few minutes before half time because I was, I don't know, just the whole atmosphere and things like that. But robbed by VAR twice versus Spurs. Probably best to play with table footballers now as they have no arms. Steve Flack, good point. Scott Williams, the cloud is clear and obvious. The problem is the fans experiencing stadia and shouldn't be in place for TV viewers, and still think it is open to corruption by betting companies. I mean, good point, Steve. Beyond belief, the scoreboard doesn't communicate with the fans. It's robotic. I agree, and that's my point. There is just they've got it. They can put text on it. They can tell you this is in action and that's this. Why can't I just put some text saying reviewing number 9 or number this for handball or for offside or for red card, these players. Even if we go, even if we can't see it back, we can go, oh, right, something must have happened in the box then. But it's the fact you don't know. You have no idea what is going on. And everyone's like, what's that all about? Well, what's going on here? When you're at the game, you have no idea what's going on. I agree. Totally gutted, but hopefully things will balance out over the season, mind and motion. Will they? You know, we saw last week after the 5-0 win at West Ham, we already then had them talking about potentially changing the laws and rules again. You know, and it's like, well, hold on, mate. What? So we're the trial guinea pigs, are we, Man City? And now they're looking, and no, there was the issue with was it Leicester and somebody else game, Wolves or someone. But now they're looking at reviewing it. No, they shouldn't have to review it. The rules should just be absolutely clear. They've had plenty of time to iron this out. And they should have envisaged these potential problems way before they've introduced it. What they've done is they've introduced it and now realising that fans are not happy. And that's not just City fans. You got people coming on here and on social media going, it is a nonsense. It's a farce. It really is. So, anyway. Conspiracy theory, Premier League is going after City with VAR. Samuel, it could be. Rob Marland, if we'd taken our chances, VAR wouldn't have mattered. Plenty of clear cut. I mean, that's a fair point. Be 12 hours a match. If we do, VAR is used to stop us. Bloody flying around me. Craig Forrest, it's the fact that so much happened from the goal to the actual ref. We are looking at it. Yeah, because nobody knows. Beyond belief, if Rugby League can hear the communication between the ref and VAR, why are Premier League refs protected from scrutiny? Spot on. But going back to that, Michael Oliver did not give a handball. So my question was yesterday, so does that mean VAR can, I'm assuming VAR can intervene when a ref doesn't see it, the goalkeeper doesn't see it, none of the Spurs players appealed for it, nobody appealed for it. So the ref sort of basically, it's a goal, and then next minute, somebody in VAR is going, hold on a minute, they could, but let's have a look at it. There could have been a handball there. Is that what we want? Every single, somebody said micromanage, every single slight little thing that the ref might miss. Are we going to, well, VAR's coming in now. No, I thought this was supposed to be clear and obvious now. That handball yesterday was not clear and obvious. It wasn't. Only picking it up on a video replay, slowing it down and everything else would say, right, that is a handball. Now, if it was going like this and the ball went up in the air and blah, 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 and I know the ball moved slightly out of direction because of the touch, but was it clear and obvious? Not for me. So why VAR getting involved in it? That's my point. I understand the handball rules now if it touches your hand, but if it's not clear and obvious at the time to the actual referee, why are VAR stepping in? Why? That's the thing. Otherwise, they're going to check every single tiny bit of play, which means it's stop, start, stop, start, stop, start. Let's stop a minute. Oh, no, it wasn't. It wasn't. All right, okay, let's carry on. American football, what it's going to end up like. A break every sort of like 60 seconds. It's just garbage. Anyway, Lassie Blur. Hey Andy, do you know who was in charge of VR room? Yes, I can't remember his name. Somebody might have mentioned it below. I do. Somebody, I think, oh God, I have got it up here. I might come back to that when I talk about some stuff. Somebody will tell me. Or can I just, let me just see. It was... I did bring it up. I read it just a minute ago. I was talking about it. No, it's not on that article. I did just read who it actually was. I mean, it's irrelevant who it really was, if I'm being honest with you. But yeah. I'll try and find it. I did read who it potentially was. I'm just seeing if it was in this particular article. no, it wasn't. So I will find it, and if somebody's posted below, that there you go. There's the answer. Jorge Green, that's deluded. Spurs dominated Villa's second half. Jorge Green, why can't the manager challenge 3 decisions game like consent? Do we really want to go down the route of having 3? I mean, how much do we want to change this game that's been around and been done perfectly fine for over 140 years? Do we really want to go down the route of having 3 challenges and all that stuff? I mean, really? Is that where we're going to go with it? Because what we're doing is completely changing the whole dynamic of how football is for the football going fan or the football watching fan. Not for me. The same referees who ref our games very poorly, sadly, same on VAR, so what's the chance? Branch leader, it's not just VAR, it's the new laws. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Owen, if fans protest, might only be way. Well, I did notice on Twitter somebody had put up a petition. I know we give the Liverpool fans grief for sort of being petition FC, but somebody had put up there was a petition about it for all football fans. Hi Andy, happy Sunday everyone. I'm a big fan of VR, but it's clear it's been hijacked by the cartel. Dodgy as anything. When you look at it yesterday, and I'll be honest, Kiam, I don't think it has. I'll be honest. But when you look at it yesterday, you think, really? You know, especially the penalty on Rodri. Steve Black, no need for pitch ref either now. Might as well have a man in the monitor. Exactly point. Hackett, or was it, or Ellery? It was one of those two. It could have been Ellery. I can't remember. Ivor Anton, I got slated on Twitter last year for saying VR will backfire and take over the football. Left the state, Etihad fuming, not just VAR, City through the game. Yeah, ref did not call for VAR, so how did it go to VAR? This is my question. This is what I'm trying to ask. If Sky weren't picking up on Laporte's handball until Graham Scott did. Graham Scott, that's the guy, BB. Graham Scott was the one who's the VAR ref. Thanks for that. How many times are we going to see these infractions ignored when it's favourite team like the Dippers and the Rags? Open again to interpretation if it's not consistent. Chris Baker, hey Andy, just my opinion, not sure the goal should have been disallowed. Oliver should have had a look on the screen at the Rodri incident and we missed way too many chances. Yeah, I mean, so why this is the thing with that tug. He looked at it, he clearly turned around and thought it wasn't a penalty. Well, if VAR can intervene with the handball that Oliver didn't spot by Laporte, why can't VAR intervene to Oliver and say, I think you need to come over and have a look at the screen because it looks to us with an arm around the neck, grabbing him on the floor, it looks to us like a penalty. Do you want to review it? They didn't. They clearly didn't. Otherwise, I'm sure Oliver would have gone, okay, I'll go and take a look because I don't want to look foolish like what's happened now when people are going, how have you not seen that as a penalty? It's garbage. It's nonsense. So people are questioning now Oliver's integrity or the VAR officials' integrity. So VAR can intervene for the handball. Why can't they intervene for the fact going, think you've missed something clear and obvious here, which we've all seen it back. And I don't know anybody on social media, pundits, whatever, who has said, it wasn't a penalty. Everyone to a man and woman have said it was a clear penalty. Even Spurs fans, it was a clear penalty. So that's a clear and obvious error. But it hasn't. So when these things come up, you start going, and I'm not one for conspiracy theories and cartels like Kiam's just mentioned, but you start looking at it going, hold on a minute here. What's going on? Hi Leonard, how are you? I'm not swayed by the spontaneousness celebration argument, as I don't think any fan has a right to celebrate an incorrect goal. Yeah, well, I mean, people celebrated. Don't get me wrong, people did celebrate it. It's not that. Lily White Spurs, appropriate name, have VAR. City have 3 trophies. Steve Black, my thoughts on it was only to help a ref if he had an incident to sort, but now it's the main ref, yeah. Owen, it doesn't feel right when you score a goal and everyone like that. Just wait and see if it's going to count. And I think, you know what, I'll be honest with you, Kiam, I know you just mentioned there about you're not swayed about the spontaneity of the whole thing. When you're actually at the stadium, and I think it's only going to get worse, is that you will eventually, and listen, we're only 2 games in, eventually I think 10 games in, a goal will be scored and everyone's first reaction will be to go, yeah, but also go and look at the screen or look at the referee or look, because that is going to be a seed that is planted over and over and over again, not just at City games, but watching all the games over a weekend, midweek games and things. You're going to see this more and more often, and I think it'll start getting into the psyche of fans. And will that then dampen the spontaneity of celebrations? I don't think it has right now, but it won't surprise me if it does in the future. Am I still on there? Sorry, just had my thing scrolling a little bit. Right. Can't believe I'm saying this, but Spurs are the new Stoke, hard to watch, says Joseph Beattie. Well, 3 shots, 2 goals. You know, clinical. Bernardini, elite wages as well. Beyond belief, says Graham Scott reviewed the Rodri pen, saw various angles and determined that it wasn't clear and obvious. Really, I've not read where that's come from. Where's that come from, Beyond Belief? Where have you got that sort of wordage from? Because if you don't think that's clear and obvious, my lord, there is something seriously wrong there. Rafe only 3 pundits on match a day. Stonewall pen, absolutely. Neil Hanstock, I thought I heard somewhere that the Premier League do not use screens at the side of the pitch, despite every other league having that option. Well, there's also the fact, and we were talking about it this morning on Sunday Supplement, saying that there are grounds like, I think, Liverpool, United, they don't even have screens. So you couldn't even show it in the stadium. So at least we have screens with whatever. They're saying they would have to move fans to install screens at those stadiums. Excuse me, so the fans know what's going on. I have it down as a 3-2 win. Steve Black said the stadiums will have to get canned cheering into the play if a goal is given by VAR, as cheering will be subdued. Who scored? I have Kanté and Tielemans in my dream team. I don't know, you're talking about that. Leonard London, Andy, read my opinion above. You just missed it. I do apologise, Leonard. Sorry, mate. I've just got that many people trying to, want to talk about this, so there's tons of stuff. I'll try and just skip back very quickly, see if I can find it. If not, please, can you repost it again? I do apologise. It'll only allow me to go back so far because there's so many comments. Let me just see if I can find what you said. I'm sorry, I can't, Leonard. Oh, hold on, yeah, I think I found it. Andy, rules shouldn't have changed for this season and next. Only brought VAR to tell ref what he probably missed, or maybe have a look again just in case if didn't see it clearly, then ref finalises. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that. I am. I really am, Leonard. Blue Heart VAR stole that result from us. Let's be honest, the whole thing was totally ambiguous. Door well open to crook calls. And I don't really want to go down that route. I'll be honest with you, I don't. But Rodri was a penalty, got in the back. Dirty, says Luke Leonard. Don't know, Joseph, listening to the debate on here, says Scott. Joseph BT Edison is poor goalkeeper, very poor. Great with the ball, but terrible shot stopper. Disagree with that, Joseph. Can we have VAR on fantasy football, please? I'm now wrong bottom. Joseph, don't forget last week that double save he made when they could have been 2-1 back in the game. This could also affect players, FFPR, seeding, etc. All designed to help the cartel. I think it's naive to think that they haven't done the same with VAR. Possibly. Only one way to go. John Grogan says Liverpool and the Rags don't need large screens. VR was not brought in for them. Thanks, Andy. It's simple, mate. It is beyond belief. If there are 60 passes before a goal and it flicks an attacker's fingernail on the 34th pass, but it leads to a beautiful goal, is it disallowed? And 50k people at the game are clueless for 10 minutes. And there you go. I think I'll go lower, mate. Fall off the page. Andy, can you go to my post 1625? I don't have a time on here, mate. So John Graham. As I said, I do apologise if I do miss, because what happens is I'm talking to you about something or I'm answering one of your questions and then I go back to this and suddenly there's a big jump because a load of people have commented. So sometimes I can't find the exact spot where I was before, but let me just see if I can find you. going up. Remember, it'll only allow me to go back so far, and then bugger off, Bernard. John Graham, hi Andy, hello all. Cricket has the best way of doing VAR. The crowd hears and sees the decision. The third umpire is, I'm assuming, mic'd. The third umpire is named too. We got to see half a second in the stadium. Yeah, well, we've been saying all along, why can't we do it? But the referees, they reckon the referees have turned around and said they don't want to be mic'd up. Now, the referees now run VAR. Is it all about the PGMOL? Is it their decision? Or should the Premier League go, we don't be a bloody referee then? If you don't want to be mic'd up, tough. End of. There'll be plenty of people, like in every walk of life and every job. Tough. Well, there's plenty of other people queuing up. Yeah, well, they're happy to be mic'd up. So if you don't want to do it, Mike Riley, Michael Oliver, Martin Atkinson, whatever, don't. We'll get somebody else to be in the Premier League. Go and do the Championship or a League One or something like that. So seems that there was a lot of resistance from the referees to be mic'd up, and I don't understand why. I just don't. Andy, I posted something yesterday. Yeah, sorry, I missed that one. In the Arsenal game, handball was given on Ben Mee, yet he was clearly trying to get his arm out of the way. That's the problem with the rule. Regardless, there's no interpretation, there's no nothing. They're basically saying, if it is handball, that is it, regardless of intent or anything, which is, how many goals are we going to see this season, or penalties or whatever, where a player just flicks it against his hand and go, well, it hit his hand. It wasn't intentional, but it hit his hand, so it's a penalty. And the referee, according to the law, can't overturn that because it is a penalty. I can be stood there like that with my arms crossed, and somebody can just flick it against my forearm, and go, penalty, there you go. The rules state it only has to hit their arm. Now, I could just be stood there absolutely still in the box, doing absolutely nothing. Somebody can run up to me, flick it onto my arm, and go, penalty, there you go. It's garbage. It's absolute nonsense. And how many months, years have they had to think of this? Garbage. Sangezo says, watching the repeat of the game, we have a strong team, Andy. We should be proud as citizens of draw feels like a feat. It does, absolutely. Definitely. It does yesterday. Don't mean to say that we're not proud of the team, but yeah, it does. And it's a talking point. Edison's position for the first goal was strange, main roadblock. It was very strange. I said it when it went in. I was to the guy next to me at the game, and I went, what was that all about? How's he scored from there? Because he sort of passed it in. All right, he curled it and things like that behind the player, but Edison was like, if he was 5 yards back, he would have got a hand to it. But he was so far out of his goal. Surprised Lamella didn't even chip him, because he could have chipped him if he wanted to. Great channel, best of luck, Andy, with your subscriptions. Thank you, Ray Fernley. VAR is a complete nonsense. It should only be used to teach current and trainee refs. Good point. Leonard, I bet everyone, if that was in a failed, the ref would have played a blind, deaf, or VAR most likely would have scousers. We have a deeper issue in this league, honestly. Edison is poor, that's my just opinion. Oh, absolutely, everyone's entitled to it, Joseph. As Rob says, opinions are like arseholes. Everyone's got one. Steve Black, mic'd up, they might have a word slip they might regret. Well, it's the same thing. If so, they get cited. They get cited for it. Players will, we've had this discussion. Rob talked about on the podcast. You don't see, you can see some, skinny little ref in rugby against 6'9", 7 foot blokes. Massive, 20, 30, 25 stone, whatever, and they call him sir, and they respect him, and they don't swear at him, and they don't do this. Now, if players, and that's not to say that emotion has been taken out of rugby, because they have respect. So, if people slip up, well, then they get cited for it. It's that simple. They get a fine, or they have to donate X amount of money to charity, or they do something like that. It'll soon stop it when players start going, Jesus Christ, that's 200 grand I've had to pay this month. Well, they'll soon stop it very quickly, very, very quickly. And if the referees swear, then the referees get cited, and they have a percentage of their salaries, so it can be done. There's no doubt about it. Andy, do you not think it could have found fault with the 93-20 goal? With what? I'm not sure about that one, Craig. With what exactly? What part? I guess they could have stopped it, but the goal had already happened. Give a pen or something. I don't know. Bernard Deneen, I turned to my lad when the Spurs sub Lucas came on and said, at least he shouldn't get a goal from head of bloody Tipico. Ellison is class, says Ray Fernley. De Gea, Leno, Alisson, and any decent shot stopper would have saved that. The man shot. Well, we can point the finger at De Gea, Leno, Alisson, all of those goalkeepers for letting in goals and go, they should really have saved that. What, we're saying that those three goalkeepers are perfect and have never made a mistake or never been out of position for a goal or should have saved every single shot that they've ever faced? Not for me. Beyond belief, England is the only major football nation that hasn't had a major football match-fixing scandal. Looks like VAR is legitimising cheating to me, you reckon? That's an interesting point, PB. John Graham, mic'd up, American football, tennis, cricket, rugby, not mic'd football. It's bobbins, Andy. There you go. Steve Black, Ellison had a poor game indeed, but not a poor keeper. I don't know how poor game. He was poor for that particular one, I must admit. Ellison can make mistakes like any keeper, but he's perfect for a pep team. Agree. Blue Heart says, but if the guys in the control room say no need to look at that when it's a clear handball, who checks the checker? There's got to be oversight somewhere, aren't they? Now, are these people who are in the VAR station, are they being assessed? And who is assessing them? Because surely, if you've got stopped in the VAR room, surely somebody above him must look at that after the fact and go, can you just tell me why you didn't give that as a penalty? Why didn't you talk to Oliver for that penalty? Because that is a clear penalty. Now, if nobody is doing that, well, free reign, innit? You can do whatever you want. Doesn't seem right, does it? We were brilliant yesterday, says branch leader. Andrew Hughes thought yesterday we were bloody brilliant. Jim Robertello, beyond belief, amen, bro. Joseph, I agree with him being perfect for a pep team, but he's going to cost us big time eventually. Go all goalkeepers. All goalkeepers. Name me a goalkeeper who's never cost a team eventually. Name me one who's never ever done it. Schmeichel did it. David Seaman did it. I mean, look, going back, we're naming keepers here who were right at the top of their game. David Seaman, with Ronaldinho, with, what was he called? Spurs player. Aim, was it? Make mistakes. Keepers make mistakes at the end of the day. But how many times do we not say, Aguero today has cost us the game? 3 chances. Sterling, 3 chances he's missed. Cost us the game. And most of the time, it'll be the strikers or the midfielders missing clear chances or penalties that'll cost us the game than a keeping mistake, in my opinion. Edison, for some reason, moved left as well just before the shot. It was dreadful positioning. Agree. Edison is trash. Claudio is better. Okay. Not seen a VAR decision goal against United or Liverpool yet. Dare I see that, I might revise my theories. Interesting point, Kiam. Joseph BT, exactly, Kiam. It's here to stop us. Bernard says, how did Ings miss that goal for Southampton yesterday? Bloody donkey. Beyond belief, we will get decisions for us when we are 4-0 up, just to even up the books. Good point. Anyway, I was pleased to see Kuhn's response to being replaced. Shows he's up for it. Absolutely. Leonard says, it's amazing how Oliver saw the pen and then decide not to give it to. A year ago, probably would. Was VR messing with his brain? Well, it's supposed to be our best ref, him and Martin Atkinson, and I think both of them have been absolutely shocking, if I'm being honest, what I've seen of them so far this season. Craig Forrest, you could see Edison expecting the through ball, made a mistake. Only rock stars that don't do mics. Bernard Dinning said before, beyond belief, we'll get VAR decisions when we slaughter teams, but when it's tight, not a chance. BB says Aguero was fouled by Anua in the 93-20 moment. It should have been a pen, but wouldn't likely to have got it. Guerrero missed it. Scott Williams, I don't think it's here to stop us. It just needs improving for the fan experience. Good win, Craig. Heard you took over 1,500. Yeah, well done for that, Craig Forrest. Ivor says, wish Cum would have showed that passion on the field then. Gave up twice, bollocked off KDB and Walker. That's why he got took off. Bernardine, spot on for me. John Walters, 3 things I like about the film Titanic. Leonardo DiCaprio dies, Kate Winslet gets naked, and Liverpool going down on the stern of the ship. Keith McRae never cocked up. Jesus should have been on earlier. He looks mint this season and would the Premier League top scorer if it wasn't VAR. He did run around like mad, didn't he? Joseph, true, maybe I'm overreacting. I think you're overreacting a little bit, Joseph, maybe. Jason Foy, can't win. Edison pulled off some good saves at West Ham. A week later, everyone's moaning about how he made a mistake. Well, Main Road Blue, I am right to say that 3 people watched VAR monitors. I'm just wondering what teams they support. I bloody love Edison. Wouldn't swap him for anyone, says Chris Baker. And with you on that one, mate. Ashkith, Spurs fans celebrated a point as a league title win. They're entitled to. They got absolutely demolished yet. They ended up getting a point from the Etihad, and not many teams do that. So, you know, fair play to them. I would if roles were reversed. Steve says, are these videographer VAR experts screened as to who they support? Well, I'm sure it's the same as being a ref. Blue Heart, for me, and being honest, VAR is a passion killer. I pay to be entertained, not feel like my support my team has been in vain and controlled by such fine margins. That's exactly how I felt yesterday. Ashki says, oh my God, we dominate that game. Gutted, yeah. But Leonard says, they say VAR will stop people betting. Well, no worries, ref, and VAR will bet themselves. Spot on Blue Heart says Scott Williams. Ivor says, yes, Edison was in no man's land, but was he supposed to read 4 midfield players not doing their job? Blame the players in front, which was my point about why was Lamella not tracked by Gundogan? Why was he looking like he was running in treacle and giving him all the time in the world? Craig Forrest, cheers Blues. Thank God we didn't have it up here. Swap you, Craig. Kate Winslet isn't that nice. In fact, she's a 3 out of 10 at best. Scott Williams, exactly, Leonard. The technology is open to corruption. John Graham says, here, Chris Baker. Beyond belief, no more betting on football as long as VR is in effect, unless I get the tip. Well, that's a good point. Kate's lovely, says Bernard Deneen. Ivor says, so VR robbed City, not piss poor defending and equally piss poor finishing. Good point, Ivor. Steve Black, she's okay, but no Denise Richards. Beyond belief, Ivor Anthony, a converted pen would have delivered the points yesterday. Bit of everything, Ivor. Kate was very nice, says John Walters. Gal Gaddo for me. This game, we all love, is becoming Americanized. All it needs is a few ads. Well, hey, don't say that, because if they can and they make money off it, they will do. Gal Gadot was on D Space 9. Okay. Beyond Belief was a top program. Right, okay. A couple of points, then obviously we're doing the VAR stuff to death. We've got about 5 minutes or so. So we've talked about all of those things, I believe. Looking in today, obviously, Spitty Carragher, as somebody mentioned and called him earlier, has been having a go back at Dominic King and also Gary Lineker. Dominic King wrote, how can that goal be disallowed on Twitter? That's a joke, same as last week with Wolves at Leicester. There's something inherently wrong with VAR if there are 3 different versions at a World Cup, in the Champions League and the Premier League. Jamie Carragher says, because it's the new rule on handball. VAR just enforcing it with a second look. A handball, intentional or not, that creates or scores a goal is now disallowed. Don't blame VAR, it's done what it's supposed to do. Gary Lineker said, the handball law gets sillier and sillier and made sillier by VAR. And Carragher replied, don't blame VAR, it's just done its job. Well, of course he's going to say that, isn't he, as a dipper. So, what else? Zinchenko basically has come out and said what was said in the dressing room afterwards. He said the players were upset after the game, but were reassured by their manager about the performance. The manager said we played well, we had enough chances, and he has no doubts about us, but it is what it is, he said. They are the rules and rules for everyone. Unfortunately, it's the second time in a row that VAR is not on our side, but we have to accept it and be on top of it. Everyone was so upset. VAR has decided again, and that made us upset. He said, in this kind of situation, you have to be all together as a team. The season is going to be so long. It is what it is, and we've dropped 2 points today, but nothing special happened. I'm pretty sure every team in the Premier League is going to drop points as well at some point. There was also a good article in Read But Never Read, which is a City account talking about VAR yesterday. So if you haven't seen that, go over and have a read of that. It's a really, really interesting read from the guys over at Read But Never Read. Raheem Sterling has been a bit more positive about it. He's basically come out when somebody called Simon Brace, a Spurs fan, said, "You're a class act, deserved all 3 points today, but I'll take the draw. Come on, you Spurs." And Raheem replied back, "Fair play, bro. See you guys at your place." Whilst Ilkay Gundogan said, "Today's VAR decision is really hard to take. Any attacker that commits handball, intentional or not, is now ruled a free kick, question mark, question mark. And if you're defending, it's fine, question mark, question mark. Its only disadvantage is the attacking team. In my opinion, this rule needs to be changed." So that was Ilkay Gundogan's thoughts with regards to that. Sweet Jesus and the Orphans. I agree with Gundogan, it's unfair. Grace Jones was like Jessica Ennis. Gundo didn't spot on as well as always. Queen Elizabeth looking good for her age. Hello, Dave. MOD. Match of Day said, if the ball hits the defender's arm, no pen. Yeah, an attacking player is struck off. Absolutely. Chelsea score? Don't know. We did miss chances yesterday. It could have been 4 or 5-2. So VAR adds pressure. How can it enhance the game? The fans take the hit, the team take the hit, and the points take the hit. It's rubbish, says Blue Heart. I agree with that, mate. Spot on. Burler says, Scott, so stupid. 1-0, says Scott. Joseph, just eat delivery on the way. I mean, it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Rob's on. Hello, mate. This live vlog has gone meta. Some fourth wall breaking here. Is that Colo Torre commentating? Somebody says, is it Yeah. On the way to Jamaica, King Kevin, that guy is just brilliant. He is. Who still watches Bullseye? I don't know. Would have enjoyed that more if we'd won. Yeah, maybe. The funny thing is, he does the commentary for championship games. He's very, very good. That was class, better than Neville. That's what people are saying. I thought KDB tired badly. He did tire. Anyone is better than Neville. Super smashing. Thought Gundo's performance was hard to take as well, like watching Gareth Barry in concrete boots. A lot of fans were saying that yesterday. I agree with Arsenal fans on Spurs. There are moments KDB doesn't look himself 2 years ago. I think he's coming back to himself. Still win the league by at least 5 points. I'm with you, Ivor. I still think it makes a blind bit of difference. I think we'll still win the league. Andy, imagine if the VAR was around when Fergie was about. Would the Rags have won as many titles? Danny too, I mean, possibly not, mate. Blue Art, Andy, next time you go in the Colin Bell, you can borrow my dressing gown and boxing gloves if you want. Yeah, it was quite interesting to say the least. Every single last-minute goal from now on for all teams will feel strange, as initially it's amazing celebrations, but instantly you become worried because VAR will definitely check the goal. Big head, yeah, that's the thing. He does lose the ball often than used to. Sniffles wants a little wee. Go take him then. What happened in the Colin Bell? Oh, bit of banter. That's all. Moving on to the next thing. What are your thoughts on here? The new program layout. They've gone into a landscape rather than a portrait mode. I actually quite like it. Now I know that certain people on social media have said, "Oh, that's going to really ruin the way that I do all my programs now," because obviously people like myself, I have tons of them. sort of catalogue them in that way. But they're saying now this is going to spoil it and ruin it for them. I actually quite like it. I really like it, and I did. If you saw the videos yesterday, I am a definite. It's just a religion. I just buy it every time I go. Home and away, the only place I will not buy a programme is from Wembley. I just refuse to pay 10 quid for it because it's crap, if I'm being honest. But these are really good. I really, really like them. And like I said, it's my sort of ritual. This is I got 2 yesterday, so this is my actual one. As you can see, it's been in my pocket and it's been red and it's all messed up and whatever else. Yeah, maybe I'll, for some overseas fans or people who didn't get to go to the game yesterday, maybe I'll throw that in as a prize sometime next week if you want it. So yeah, I like it, I really do, and I'm glad. I asked the question yesterday of some fans around where I get my programme before every game of Tony at, and I've done for years, on Joe Mercer Way, and I was asking him because obviously there was the issue. I think Talk Sport did a big thing on it saying our programme's defunct nowadays. Clearly stats showing that people don't buy them anymore and blah blah blah. So I was asking the fans saying, do you still buy them? And Tony, is it is it dropping off? And he said, no way near. It's still going as strong as ever. Now he might say that, but I tend to believe what he said. So I like it. I like the new format. I really do. And there's some interesting articles in here. On here, there's a good one on Rodri, and then going back a little bit of a timeline, going back to the 125 years, which if we look at it, on here you've got Billy Meredith on there as well, Joshua Palby, and an old sort of Man City association thing on there. Don't forget, we've got the documentary that's coming soon. It's going to start. It's going to start with one that I've done on an old player, and maybe Rob's on. Maybe Rob can let us know when that's coming out. But it should be out, I'm hoping, today or tomorrow, and there'll be two further ones before we do the full documentary, leading into the final week of August. So hope you really enjoy those. We put a lot of hard work into them, so I'm sure with in the hands of Rob, it's going to be really, really good. But anyway, let's just quickly go back, see if there's anything else, and then I'm going. I've got work to do because I've got a busy week this week, so I'm not sure what time I'm going to be able to come on. I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure what time I'm going to be able to come on live this week, or whether Rob or Kiam or somebody comes on and does a live one instead of me. I'm not sure. Rob's saying Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay, so there you go. Tomorrow, the first episode will come out with me talking about one of the old players of the past. Right, let's see. 2 seasons ago, Walker sent off against Everton, 1-1 draw. We became Centurions. Last season, Wolves handball offside, 1-1 draw. We became 98 points. Yeah. KDB looked better than ever. He looked very good. Leave the Colin Bell stand alone. I'm in it. No. I never had to go at the Colin Bell stand. That was the whole thing. I was talking about the whole stadium, but it just seemed that some fans decided they thought I was saying that I was talking about fans in the Colin Bell stand was being shit, and that is not what happened, which ultimately ended up in it got a bit heated, to say the least. So me versus 5 or 6 of them, but stood my ground at the end of the day. And eventually they came over and apologised and said, look, I'm sorry, he heard this and thought that I said this, and clearly that wasn't the case. So nothing against the Colin Bell stand. Like I said, the idea is I'm going to experience the whole stadium. I'm just trying to work it out. And actually, one thing that did come out from yesterday, sat there in the Colin Bell stand, and like I said, this is not a slight on the Colin Bell stand and the people who were there. That is not what it's about. It's just trying to experience different parts of the ground and thinking, what's the atmosphere like here? Does nobody care? Do City fans in various parts of the stadium not really care? And if they don't, fine, that's absolutely fine. You know, so it's not about trying to say, you know, this area's crap and that should be doing that. I'm not trying to say what it's like. It's just from an experience point of view. But one thing I was trying to, when I was interviewing somebody where before these, or one guy in particular got a bit shitty with me, was the fact that, you know, obviously I'm normally in the south stand. Now, in the singing sections in the south stand, you think it's loud because it is loud. But where I was sat on that halfway line behind the press box, it didn't sound that loud. It really didn't. And my point was on camera was, is this going to entice me in the Colin Bell stand for yesterday? Is it going to entice me to go, I want to sing as well now? Where obviously if the singing is right close to you, it probably then encourages you to stand up and sing and do whatever. And you know, I'm not saying people have to sing. I'm just trying to think of ways and talking about this wall and of supporters. Is that going to make a difference? And that's the whole point of it, is trying to ask people around the stadium, do you want to sing? Because if you don't have to sing. Nobody has to sing. Nobody forces you. If you want to, go and get your season ticket in 115 or up at 314 or somewhere like that. Perfectly fine. Not everybody wants to stand up and sing. I get that. But I actually experienced it yesterday in the Colin Bell stand. Actually looking across and hearing. Of course I could hear the south stand. But it didn't sound loud to me. And it didn't sort of make me want to go, oh, look at that. Oh, yeah, you know, if I was a person, let's say, who didn't really sing, and which I do when I'm in the south stand, but, you know, I didn't really sing, but oh, look at that. And I'm getting this atmosphere, this buzz, this thing. It just didn't. It really didn't. So it's going to be interesting to see what other people think. Now, most people might go out and say, you know, but I don't want to sing. I just want to go and watch the game. Absolutely fine. Or do they think we need one area of the ground that should just be this massive wall of noise and things like that? Or not? Should we not do it? Should we just leave it as it is and just go, look, if you want to sing, go over to the south stand. If you want this, change your ticket to here. Or I don't want to be where all those loud people are. And that's perfectly fine. And that was the whole idea of yesterday and what's going to happen during the season. That was the only point. It was just one or two people after a few drinks heard something that they thought they heard, which actually turned out I didn't say. So that was the whole drama anyway. But it is what it is. So lastly, before I go, I'm glad it's not the Colin Bell end. This season again, second game, bullshit draw, end of season result. Looks cool, nice programme. In this, is this a giveaway? Well, I will give it away, Joseph, but maybe not today. Maybe another time. But I'll keep the one that's I've used and read and everything. I've got a brand new one here. So I tend to always get a couple. Give them out to family and things like that who couldn't get to the game. Used to be like that years back. Loved the new programme. Left mine on the car roof after the game. No bed. That's maybe where I got that one from. Colin Bell legend. Can line it up next to me 70s programmes now. They were the same. Yeah, well, this is the thing. Some people though are not happy about it on social media. Blue Heart, Colin Bell has a lot of people that are jealous of my quiz winning. Scott Williams, spot on, big head. Perhaps VAR to be switched off for the last 10 minutes to protect every football fan's integrity. What happens in the Colin Bell stand stays in the Colin Bell. Yeah, it certainly did yesterday. Has Scott received his toilet port? No, I haven't sent it yet because I was away yesterday, so I'll get it packed up and sent this week. So it's going to his nephew, so I'm going to send it to his nephew. He doesn't live that far away from me, 10 miles or so. Klingon tags don't like Yorkshire Terriers. Cheesy had Colin Bell on, not aged a day. All programmes should have a rear pocket creases in them. I see that, Bernard. I remember a few months ago someone was saying you was going to play your guitar and you said you would if something or other. I did. Just not. I know, but I did say it. No, hold on, Danny Tuami. I did turn around and say if somebody taught me how to play the guitar, I would play it. And I asked people and nobody is interested, which is probably a good thing. Andy, do you need me to sign those programs? Yes, I need your signature on it. I'll get you that next time. Love my old programs where they got soaked and pages stuck together. Yeah. You have to. Oh, sorry. Finally, you. Oh, hold on. Rob says, "Oh God, bloody hell! How many comments? I've read a few. You have to include the fans in the stadium with VR decisions live, Mike. The refs. Yeah, I agree. The program in the early 90s were landscape too. Woman on bullseye, nice leg sharing behind the face. It'll be out Monday, Andy. Thank you, mate. Nearly done my research. Great, Martin. That was bully. Beyond belief, yes, there have been phases of this format. Exactly, Rob. It's all tailored for the armchair fans. Take care. All the best, Craig. Better idea, Andy. Mic me up during VAR decisions. I'll keep the crowd entertained. Come and see me. And we'll sort something out for that. I can imagine. I want to be VAR announcer, letting the crowd know what's going on. Maybe a quiz and free biscuits during the break. If I wanted to watch a screen, I might as well stay in the warm at home. At least then I'll be more in the know about what's going on. These bizarre decisions, I agree. I'm only joking, Andy. You know what I'm like. Yes, I know, mate. Don't worry. One MCFC TV hero against 5 sloppy biscuit dunkers. I get the same aggro every game when I call part-timers out every week for leaving on 80 minutes, although yesterday was special because I got arrested. Yesterday just was a mad day. Oh, what have you done? There are women in Wentworth prison who look like you. Sure there are. Hopefully Andy will read this and give you the breakdown. Oh, see, it's too long to tell. Yeah, I'll tell you about it, Martin, don't worry. Rob, if everyone has spent a tenner, it's different, but when people pay 50, 60 quid, they will choose if they want to show appreciation or not. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Message me in, Rob, and give me the breakdown. Just bit is that seller talk badge on. Andy, are you saying you were a victim of VAR yourself? I, of course, me find a cracked. That's VCR, mate, not VAR. Andy and Rob, the hooligans of the channel. No, I'm definitely not. The Craze of Manchester. No, I was actually interviewing the guy who was sat next to me. Came down, went for a pint, and I was interviewing him. And then just all hell broke loose from behind me. Yeah, it was just madness. We sorted it out. We had a chat at the end, and sort of they realised that, or two of the guys realised that I actually, what somebody else said, I didn't actually say it. He just heard something, thought I said something, and started telling me to, whatever. And then grabbing me and the phone and grabbing me and all that type of stuff. So it just got a little bit, heated. That was all. Do you think 6 foot Laporte falls over when his girlfriend holds his hand? Sorry, Andy, missed some parts. My wife called me out that I'm ruining her Sunday. Sorry, mate, I'm ruining my wife. She's off now for a week. Let's make sure we don't let VR wield an influence in last moments of games. Can be relied upon to remove errors. It actively and passively creates them, I agree. I bloody love VAR. I'm sure you do too, Inch. I didn't want to use the word arse in Listen, guys, I'm glad to say nothing happened with me yesterday, guys. Very nice day. Well done to you, Martin. What's coming up on TV? What's the 2-inch in your name referring to? We all know what that is. It's 2-inch Freeman. He's been on before. He's just ventured back. He only ever comes on when City lose or draw, or there's something really juicy to talk about, but he's more than welcome. Would it mean that being given at Anfield? No, it wouldn't, Leonard. The Mad Inch. Listen, guys, thank you for coming on. I do appreciate it. Don't forget, if you're not a subscriber, click subscribe, hit that bell icon, go and watch the videos back from yesterday. There's loads and loads on there. Thanks, Bernard, and thank you for coming on camera yesterday. I do appreciate it. Yeah, there's watch out tomorrow, because there's going to be the start of the Is the House Clean of here? I know what happens to dead astronauts in space. Cheers, Andy. Great chat. Thanks, Leonard. Watch out for the first video tomorrow, coming out on the 125th anniversary. There are loads of them coming. There's me, there's Martin, there's me, there's Chris, there's Kiam, and then we've got another one that we've done, and it's going to include loads of other people. Martin's been involved in that one. So there's a big documentary coming, which should be really, really good, really interesting, all about the history of players. And we've done tons of work on it. It's not a crappy one, it's a really, really good one. So watch it when it does come out. But anyway, enjoy the one tomorrow. I'm sure Rob's done a great job on it. And yeah, I don't know what time I'll be around tomorrow. I'll chat to the guys in a bit, see if anyone else can do a live vlog. If not, then it might be a bit later when I get home from the airport. But anyway, listen, have a wonderful Sunday. Enjoy it with your loved ones. Go and enjoy your Sunday roast or whatever it is. I'll come and focus that camera next time at the Etihad, but cheers for all the hard work. Perfect again. It was one of those that after the game, I was on my own. So I set it up, thought it was great, and then people were coming in. I was trying to move people over in. Next minute I was further away than I was here. So it went out of focus. It was my fault. I need to put one of those X's on the floor and make people stand on it. But we'll get there at the end. But anyway, let's the end season. Let's see. Wee Willy Winky Willy Woo. Dippers thinking they haven't won the league. Absolutely. Anyway, listen. You're a great cameraman. Brilliant job considering. Thank you, mate. We'll see you all tomorrow. Sandy from Man City Fan TV. Have a great Sunday. See you soon.